For every great bike, there's always one that fails so badly you question how it was approved. These failures have been around since the early days of motorcycles, but they became even more common in the 1970s. It was a time of innovation with parallel twins and advanced triples, alongside the rise of sports bikes in America. Join us as we delve into the world of the worst bikes ever made, where ambitious ideas often ended in disappointment and frustration. Number 13. 1972 Kawasaki H2 Mach 4. In the 1970s, motorcycle safety was not a top priority. Kawasaki had already released the problematic 500cc H1 Mach 3, known for causing more injuries than setting speed records. Undeterred, they decided to create an even more powerful bike with a 750cc engine, resulting in the H2 Mach 4. This bike featured a 748cc two-stroke triple engine that produced 74 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque. The engine was mounted in a frame nearly identical to the H1's, which was so flexible it might as well have been made of rubber bands. The front fork had shocks too thin to adequately support the bike's weight, and the braking system consisted of a single-disc brake on the front wheel and a drum brake on the rear, neither of which were sport spec. Additionally, the rear wheel was positioned too far forward, leading to a dangerous rear weight bias. Kawasaki boasted that the H2 Mach 4 could reach an astonishing 125 miles per hour. However, they did not mention that above 3,500 RPM, there was a significant drop in torque, often resulting in unexpected wheelies. Weighing 420 pounds, the bike was difficult to control, and preventing it from looping over was a challenge, often resulting in the rider skidding down the road. Even professional racing riders avoided the H2 Mach 4, deeming it too dangerous to ride. Although Kawasaki made improvements in 73 and 74, the disastrous first year in 72 led to low sales, and the bike was discontinued in 1975. Number 12. 1971 Suzuki TM400 Cyclone. The 1971 Suzuki TM400 Cyclone was Suzuki's top race motorbike, produced from 1971 to 1975. Despite its promising specs on paper, the bike gained a terrible reputation for its handling and power delivery. Priced at $999 and claiming to deliver 40 horsepower, the TM400's power was erratic and difficult to manage. The power delivery was like a light switch, either fully on or off, with an unreliable ignition system causing unpredictable bursts of power. This can happen at different RPMs, sometimes 3,500, other times 5,500, or it might just sputter and cough. This unpredictability made it challenging for riders. Marketed as a replica of the successful factory racers ridden by Joel Robert and Roger DeCoster in Europe, the TM400 Cyclone weighed 50 pounds more than DeCoster's factory bike. It was also plagued by poor handling, with a chassis that was an ill-handling mess. The forks seemed to have intervals taken from a pen, and the shocks lasted only about 10 minutes before trying to eject the rider. The best thing you could say about the suspension was that it held the bike up when stationary. The frame flexed badly under load, binding up and then snapping back like a spring when the rider let off the throttle, often launching the rider into the weeds or worse. By 1975, Suzuki had managed to improve some of the Cyclone's worst traits, making the motor easier to manage and the handling slightly better. However, the damage was done, and the TM400 Cyclone was firmly established in the motocross community as a dangerous and scary machine. In an era of unreliable and crude motorcycles, the TM400 stood out as one of the worst. Number 11. 1974 Suzuki RE5. The 1974 Suzuki RE5, known for their willingness to experiment, and the RE5 was one of their boldest and most unusual creations. The name RE5 stands for Rotary Engine Model 5. The bike featured a high-revving Wankel rotary engine from NSU in Germany, which seemed like a perfect match for a sporty motorcycle frame designed for high speeds. Initially, the RE5 received praise for its handling and road performance. However, the real issues with the bike only surfaced after the 12-month warranty expired. Rotary engines in the 1970s had a significant drawback: the lack of advanced ceramic apex seals that would only be developed in the 1980s. If one of these seals failed, even slightly, the engine would suffer catastrophic damage. The complexity of the engine meant that a minor issue required replacing the entire unit rather than just a single part. This made repairs costly and complicated. Moreover, the novelty of the rotary engine quickly wore off. As the excitement faded, so did interest in the RE5. By 1976, just 48 months after it was introduced, production of the RE5 was halted. Despite its initial promise, the RE5's practical challenges and the rapid decline in interest led to its short-lived presence in the market. Number 10. 1975 Honda CB500T. The 1975 Honda CB500T is one of those motorcycles that even Honda might regret producing. During the 1970s, following the relative success of the CB450T sport model, Honda's executives wanted to capitalize further. They instructed their engineers to modify the 450 cubic centimeter engine into a 500cc model as cost efficiently as possible. The CB450T already had issues with vibrations, but they were just below the threshold of being truly annoying. However, Honda's engineers were not given the freedom to create a new 500cc engine. Instead, they modified the existing 450cc engine by increasing its stroke and replacing the roller bearings with big ball bearings to supposedly extend the engine's life. The head unit remained unchanged at 450. To accommodate these changes, the compression ratio was lowered from 9:1 to 8.5:1, which allowed the bike to run on cheaper gasoline, a crucial consideration during the 1975 oil crisis. The 32mm carburetors were deemed sufficient and left unchanged. Additionally, the rubber bushings, handlebars, and seat mounts were made from low-quality rubber, contributing to the problem. As a result, the CB500T suffered from severe vibrations, making it extremely uncomfortable to ride. Even short trips on the bike felt like a jarring experience, with the vibrations being intense enough to potentially loosen dental fillings. The root of the problem was that engineers were constrained by the executives' demands. They were unable to incorporate a solution that already existed, a counterbalancer on the crankshaft, which could have mitigated the vibrations and made the CB500T a success. Unfortunately, this lack of design freedom led to the CB500T's failure. Number 9. The 1973 Yamaha SC500. The 1973 Yamaha SC500 was Yamaha's first attempt at a 500 cubic centimeter motocross machine. Yamaha's history in the open class has been varied, with some bikes being exceptional and others less successful. For example, the excellent YZ465 was countered by the disappointing YZ490. Even the more recent YZ450F, introduced in 2010, has sparked much debate. Yamaha's journey in the open class has been a roller coaster ride of success and failure for over 40 years. Appropriately, this journey began with the 1973 SC500 Scrambler. Weighing 243 pounds, the SC500 featured an air-cooled 498 cubic centimeter reed valve two-stroke engine paired with a 4-speed transmission. Its suspension included remote reservoir rear shocks and inline axle front forks, offering 4 inches of travel, which was considered good at the time. However, the SC500 was largely regarded as a failure. Its 498 cubic centimeter engine was difficult to tune, often sputtering, coughing, and stalling. The throttle response was poor, and one tester noted it had less low-end power than a well-running 125. The SC500's 40 horsepower was delivered in a sudden mid-range burst, causing the front end to lift abruptly before power tapered off. The chassis was even worse, suffering from poor weight balance that made the front end too light. The imbalance caused the bike to wheelie frequently and lose control in corners. At high speeds, the bike shook violently, making it hard to control. The suspension was harsh, with the forks and shocks providing a rough ride and fading quickly. A Cycle magazine review summed it up well. While Yamaha got the minor details right, it missed the mark on the major aspects, resulting in poor performance compared to European bikes, which, though fragile, handled and performed much better. However, Yamaha quickly improved, and within a year, they introduced the YZ360 monoshock, revolutionizing motocross. Number 8. 1976 Honda CB750A Honda-Matic. The Honda CB750A Honda-Matic was manufactured from 1976 to 1978. It first entered the US market in '76, following its earlier release in Canada in '75. This motorcycle introduced Honda's automatic transmission technology to the market, featuring a distinctive 2-speed automatic gearbox known as the Honda-Matic. Unlike traditional automatic systems, riders manually engage gears using a foot-operated hydraulic valve selector. The CB750A distinguished itself with several notable features. It boasted a durable design, incorporating a single-piece crankshaft, easily adjustable valves, and a reliable chain drive, all aimed at ensuring longevity and simplified maintenance. Ahead of its time, the CB750A came equipped with a 5-speed transmission, front disc brake, electric starter, kill switch, dual mirrors, and flashing turn signals. Its clear instrumentation contributed to a user-friendly riding experience. Powering the CB750A was a robust 736 cubic centimeter 4-stroke 4-cylinder air-cooled engine. It delivered 67 horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 60 Newton meters of torque at 7,000 RPM. However, due to the limitations of the Honda-matic transmission, Honda detuned the engine to a more modest 47 horsepower. Despite its innovative features, the CB750A faced criticism and earned a reputation as one of the worst motorcycles of the 1970s. Riders found it cumbersome and lacking the desired sporty performance. The Honda-matic transmission, while groundbreaking, failed to resonate with enthusiasts who preferred manual control. These factors combined led to the CB750A falling short of expectations during its production years. Number 7. 1973 Yamaha TX750. The TX750 was manufactured by Yamaha Motors from 1973 to 1974. It marked Yamaha's entry into the 750cc road sport motorcycle category, distinguishing itself with an inline two-cylinder engine at a time when larger multi-cylinder engines were more prevalent. One of the standout features of the TX750 was its advanced engineering innovations. It incorporated a pair of balancers known as Omniphase to reduce vibration significantly, a noteworthy achievement for a twin-cylinder motorcycle. The engine employed dry sump lubrication, ensuring efficient oil circulation and cooling, and boasted front disc brakes with opposed piston calipers, a cutting-edge feature for its era. Additionally, it was the first Yamaha road bike to feature aluminum wheel trims, enhancing both its appearance and performance. Underneath its sleek design, the TX750 housed a forward-inclined air-cooled parallel twin engine with a 360-degree crankshaft. It had an engine displacement of 743 cubic centimeters, producing 63 horsepower at 7,500 RPM and 50 pound-feet of torque at 6,000 RPM. The transmission was a 5-speed sequential manual transmission, allowing riders to shift gears manually. Despite its innovative design and advanced features, the TX750 garnered a reputation for poor reliability. Issues such as engine overheating and excessive oil consumption plagued the model, leading to its rapid decline on the market. Yamaha made efforts to address these problems, but ultimately withdrew the TX750 from most markets after 1974. Production ceased entirely in Yamaha's home market by 1975. The Yamaha TX750, while pioneering in many aspects, ultimately fell short due to its reliability issues, marking a challenging chapter in Yamaha's history of motorcycle innovation. Number 6. 1974 Ducati 860 GT. The Ducati 860 GT was produced from 1974 to 1975 as part of Ducati's beveled drive twin series, succeeding the 750 GT. This model represented a departure from Ducati's traditional design aesthetics with its distinctive square-shaped appearance. Designed by Italian motorcycle designer Giuseppe Montanari, it introduced angular elements that diverged from the earlier rounded engine cases and cafe racer styling. While this bold shift intrigued some enthusiasts, it also unsettled others who were accustomed to Ducati's established look. One of the 860 GT's notable features was its desmodromic valve system, a pioneering technology in motorcycles at the time. This system, which ensured precise control over valve movement, contributed to improved engine performance, a characteristic that has since become synonymous with Ducati motorcycles. The 860 GT was powered by an air-cooled 863cc single overhead camshaft 4-stroke 90-degree V-twin engine, capable of producing approximately 57 to 60 horsepower. Power from the engine was transmitted to the rear wheel through a 5-speed manual transmission and a drive chain. Despite these innovative features, the 860 GT faced significant challenges. Its angular, folded paper styling, influenced by automotive design trends of the time, was polarizing among Ducati enthusiasts who favored the earlier round-case 750 twins. This divergence in styling preferences led to a notable decline in sales, prompting Ducati to redesign the 860 GT for the following year. Ultimately, the 860 GT's unconventional styling and mixed reception among riders contributed to its reputation as one of the least favored motorcycles of the 1970s. Despite its technological advancements, it failed to resonate with Ducati's fanbase, highlighting the importance of aesthetic continuity and consumer preference in motorcycle design and market success. Number 5. 1971 Moto Guzzi V7 Sport. The Moto Guzzi V7 Sport was manufactured between 1971 and 1974, standing out from the standard V7 Roadster by embodying the cafe racer spirit. It featured clip-on handlebars, which altered the riding position to a more aggressive stance, enhancing control and agility by allowing riders to lean forward. This design tweak aimed to deliver a sportier experience on the road. One of its distinctive features was the transversely mounted engine configuration. Unlike the longitudinal setup typical of mini motorcycles, The V7 Sport housed its 748cc V-twin engine horizontally across the frame. This arrangement accommodated dual 30mm Dell'Orto carburetors and boasted a compression ratio of 9.8 to 1, contributing to its performance capabilities. Power from the engine was transmitted through a 5-speed transmission and a reliable shaft drive system, characteristics typical of Moto Guzzi motorcycles. The 748cc V-twin engine produced around 70 horsepower when new, characterized by strong torque delivery that enhanced its lively riding dynamics. However, despite its innovative design and spirited performance, the Moto Guzzi V7 Sport faced criticism. It was notorious among enthusiasts for its complex maintenance requirements and reliability issues. Owners often found it challenging to maintain an optimal condition, and Moto Guzzi struggled with consistency and quality control during production. These factors contributed to a mixed reputation for V7 Sport, despite its charisma and capable handling on the road. Number 4. 1972 Kawasaki Z1900. The Kawasaki Z1900, nicknamed the Big Z or 900 Super 4, was a powerful motorcycle produced by Kawasaki in the early 1970s. It marked a significant shift in the motorcycle industry at the time. Introduced in 1972 and manufactured until 1975, approximately 85,000 units were built during its production run. One of its standout features was its double overhead camshaft system, making it the first large-capacity Japanese 4-cylinder motorcycle to use this technology on a production scale. This innovation was notable, as prior to the Z1, only the MV Agusta 750S had utilized DOHC, albeit on a rare and expensive machine. Stylistically, the Z1 adopted Kawasaki's distinctive 3S styling concept, which contributed to its unique appearance. It also boasted a striking 4x4 exhaust system and was equipped with disc brakes, a rarity during its era, enhancing its braking performance significantly. Another modern touch was its electric starter, a convenience uncommon on many motorcycles of the time. Powered by a robust 903 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline-4 engine, the Z1 delivered 82 horsepower at 8,500 RPM. It featured a 5-speed transmission, providing riders with versatile gear options. Despite its technological advancements and impressive power, the Z1 faced criticism for early models having issues with frame flexing and handling, which affected its safety and earned it a reputation as one of the more problematic motorcycles of its era, especially during aggressive riding or high-speed maneuvers. Number 3. 1973 Laverda 1000. The Laverda 1000, produced by the Italian manufacturer Laverda from 1973 to 1988, was a notable heavyweight in the motorcycle world during its era. It featured a distinctive 981 cubic centimeter air-cooled double overhead cam inline triple engine, a configuration uncommon for its time. This engine layout was at the heart of its identity, offering a blend of power and engineering innovation. One of its standout variants was the Jota, renowned for its aggressive styling and potent performance. From 1976 to 1981, the Jota held the title of the fastest production motorcycle, thanks to its robust engine that delivered 90 horsepower at 7,600 RPM. Later models of the Laverda 1000 incorporated Laverda-manufactured cast alloy wheels, which not only enhanced aesthetics, but also improved performance on the road. Structurally, the Laverda 1000 featured a robust duplex cradle frame, designed to provide stability and rigidity. However, despite its technological prowess and powerful engine, the bike had its drawbacks. Weighing approximately 225 kilograms or 495 pounds when dry, it was notably heavy, impacting its agility and maneuverability. Riders often criticized its harsh ride quality and less than ideal suspension system, which compromised comfort during longer rides. Despite high expectations for a sporty experience, many enthusiasts found the Laverda 1000 fell short in delivering the desired handling and comfort, highlighting a gap between its promising specifications and real-world performance. Number 2. 1975 Triumph Trident T160. The Triumph Trident T160, produced from 1975 to 1976, marked a significant era for British motorcycles. It featured a distinctive 750 cubic centimeter air-cooled inline 3-cylinder engine, setting it apart from the prevalent 4-cylinder models of its time. One of its notable advancements was the inclusion of an electric starter, departing from the kickstart mechanism of its predecessors. This engine utilized overhead valves technology, enhancing its performance capabilities. Equipped with front and rear disc brakes, the T160 aimed to improve braking efficiency compared to older models. However, the introduction of new mufflers resulted in back pressure issues that led to an over-rich fuel condition, adversely affecting its overall performance. Despite its 750cc displacement and approximately 58 horsepower output at 7,250 RPM, the T160 faced criticism for reliability concerns. It often suffered from oil leaks and electrical faults, undermining its reputation for durability. Build quality was another area of concern, with components like the rev counter drive union and clutch cable entry point prone to leaks. These issues compounded with the performance lag caused by the back pressure problems, ultimately contributing to the T160 being perceived as falling short of its potential in the competitive motorcycle market of the 1970s. Number 1. 1979 Maico 490. The Maico 490 motorcycle was produced from 1979 to 1982, representing a significant era for the German brand. It featured a distinctive 490 cubic centimeter air-cooled two-stroke single-cylinder engine, setting it apart from its contemporaries. However, despite its powerful engine producing approximately 50 to 55 horsepower, the bike faced considerable challenges. Riders struggled with its handling characteristics, particularly in corners and tight sections, requiring considerable skill and experience to manage effectively. One of the major drawbacks of the Maico 490 was its reliability. Many riders experienced frequent breakdowns and engine issues, which marred its reputation in the market. These reliability concerns often led to frustrating mechanical failures during use. The bike also included a 5-speed gearbox, allowing riders to explore its power brand, but its difficult handling and maintenance issues overshadowed this feature. In comparison to other motorcycles of its time, the Maico 490 was often considered inferior due to these issues. Competing in a market where reliability and ease of handling were crucial, the Maico 490 struggled to gain popularity. Despite its powerful acceleration, its demanding nature and frequent mechanical problems earned it a reputation as a challenging bike to ride and maintain. The 1970s saw some memorable motorcycles, but also some that missed the mark. From reliability issues to challenging handling, these bikes have left their mark in history. Which of these 13 bikes surprised you the most, and would you dare to ride one today? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more motorcycle history content.